Hi folks, Tim here. Welcome back to Elmendorf Acres. Well, we had a little snowstorm here over the weekend. More rain than anything, but up in the woods we got an inch or two of snowpack, kind of hard and crunchy. It was cold last night. I sanded a couple driveways this morning, and now we're headed back in the woods. We found a local guy who wants to purchase all the hemlock that we're cutting 8 inches in diameter and larger. He's got a hobby mill, and he wants to build himself a cabin. So one of the things hemlock is good for is it's great for those structural beams. It's great for the 2x4s, the 4x4s, and anything else that you're using structural-wise for framing. So he's going to be coming in later today to look at some of what we've got cut. But because of that, we're changing direction a little bit. We've marked probably 3 or 4 dozen hemlocks that need to come down on the property. Okay, well that went well. Thought it might be worthwhile mentioning, it seems like we are just above freezing now. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the snow just went from being powdery to actually compacting a little bit. So we're finally above freezing. My uncle sent a picture out this morning, and he said at 7 or so this morning, his thermometer was at 4.5 degrees. So that's 4.5 degrees Fahrenheit. For you other folks, I have no idea what that means in Celsius, but cold. Anyway, that tree went well. Had a heavy lean, so I did something a little different. I did a plunge cut on that, and then I cut in from the back once it only had that little strip holding it up. And doing a cut like that helps prevent a barber chair effect. Lots of videos out there on the barber chair. Lots of people have been hurt. I've myself been to at least one call with the fire department where somebody got hurt because the tree they were working on barber chaired. So tree work can be dangerous, especially when you don't know what you're doing. Many times it's worthwhile calling in the professional, but I've been cutting trees for a long time. And I want to say, by no means am I the best person out there for it. I'm very comfortable with a lot of things and a lot of these trees, but occasionally I'll come across one that I just really don't want to do, and I'll tell whoever we're working for to hire someone who can climb it. It's something I used to do. I used to climb and decided it just wasn't for me anymore. So all in all, this job is going well. It's progressing well. You see Owen I got coming in behind me now with the tractor. You can see him coming in way out there, a long ways away. But he actually traversed the old wood road rather than going in the road we just cut. It's a little bit more direct. But this is what we've cut so far today. We've cut about 150 feet today. So not nearly as much as we did on Wednesday last week. But this was a lot thicker area. None of it was an old wood road. And the terrain is a little bit more unforgiving in this one. We got quite a bit more of a grade we're working on. You can see an old oak that was here. The top had snapped out of it years ago. If you look up there, you can see at the very end. So the top 16 feet or so is decent for firewood. This stuff at the bottom, you can see that rod around the edge. I'll split that up for myself, but I certainly can't sell it to anybody. And Owen's coming in, grabbing some logs and brush and whatever else. So I tell you, the grapple on this thing is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, we had to let the tractor regen earlier, and that's that particulate filter got clogged, and we had to put it in park and let it regen for half an hour or so, which smells terrible. I guess I didn't stack that too nice for him. Anyway, it smells terrible. You know, we parked it 12 or 1,300 feet away up by the slab that we poured, and then we kept cutting down here a little bit, and boy, it was miserable. I could smell it all the way down here. Anyway, so this is where we're cutting. You remember I was talking about the stone walls a little bit. There's a stone wall that's going to run right alongside our driveway, and down here is where we're continuing. This is actually a corner of the neighbor's property. The neighbor's property right now, as I'm walking, is on my left, and the family's property is on the right. So this stone wall was the boundary between the two properties, and you can see we got some property marker and some pink tape down there which notates the corner, and once we round that corner, then we kind of loop around. But the goal today was to get as far as this rock wall here, which we did. You can kind of see where this is a big corner here where it came down, and then another one went up that way. Kind of cool as we look at all the old stuff, the old walls. But this tree that I'm pointing at right now, this big triple, that's going to come out. There's a big hickory behind it that needs to come out, and then we're going to take these couple guys out here. this particular section of rock wall is coming out, and we're going to use it in a low area. We've got a low area that needs to be filled, and by using some of this rock, it's going to save us some money and repurpose it a little bit. So we did that in a couple other spots already, but this is the first true bend. There was one back up by the slab more, and then we're gonna have a bend here where it goes around the bend, and we want to try to make this so that a truck and trailer combo can go through. So as we are clearing and as I'm working on this, I'm trying to make it so that we can swing a dump truck with an equipment trailer or something like that. I always say a tractor trailer, but that's not really what I'm going for. I'm going for that, you know, that dump truck, whether it's a single axle or a tri-axle, and an excavator on it would be the goal of how much to clear and make it so we can access it. So right behind me, Owen's taking, what is he taking? He's got a whole load of firewood logs up there. So Owen's got a bunch of firewood logs, and then these 3 trees right here are the last 3 that need to come down today once this is cleaned up. So you can see we're really not taking anything huge down, which is nice. I took 1 tree earlier that's going to go to the mill as a saw log. I got two small logs out of that. It's debatable whether I'll get more for the log than I would for firewood or vice versa, but we have a lot of firewood. So they're going to the mill just because I don't really feel like stocking that much firewood. Anyway, that's where the driveway's going through. When we recorded the other day, we were about 400 feet that way up the hill there at that first bend. So there's going to be essentially 3 solid bends in this road. It's going to meander a little bit. I don't like straight as an arrow driveways. It feels a little more private and a little bit less like a runway when you have some trees along the side and you can go through a little bit. We are going to end up cutting some of this stuff out. That tree is actually owned by a family member. It's either that or else it's right on the property line, so I'll talk with him later and just verify that we can cut it. He's already told me we can, but I still want to double check with him. Oh, and I was talking about some of the big old wall trees that are around here. Again, we've got the wall. I've turned around, so now the neighbor's property is on my right hand side or your right hand side. We're talking about some of these big old wall trees, and this one that we're walking at here is exactly one of those. So it's just my side of the wall, but that's a large tree. It's a little hard to tell from the camera angle, but that's about 32 feet in diameter, and I measure it not at the actual base. Like if you're grinding stumps, I measure that at the 2 foot mark or 2.5 foot mark. So that's about 32 inches in diameter, and that one goes up quite a ways. Forks out probably at about, oh, I don't know, 30 feet maybe, but one whole side of the fork is almost dead. So at some point, I mean, we left it for now, but at some point that one's probably going to come down. And then here's a corner tree right there, is on the corner of the wall. That one's technically mine too. It's not actually a boundary tree, but another one of those wall trees I was talking about where they just kind of left them when they grew along the wall. But we're doing pretty good, I think. So that's all for today, folks. Thank you for watching Elmendorf Acres. We are at 966 subscribers as of this morning, and working our way towards that magic 1,000 mark. So if you have not done so, please hit that subscribe button, or if you're already subscribed, make sure you hit that thumbs up, that like button. That like button helps move us up in the algorithm, and it allows other folks who enjoy watching the same videos that you watch, it kind of puts it in their queue of things to watch or suggested videos. So please be sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and if you're so inclined, hit that share button. Thank you very much.